Boys and girls, good evening, good afternoon. It is, in fact, the best day of the week. Welcome back to High Top Sports. The show is, of course, brought to you by BetUS. You know we got a jam-packed show. We have a phenomenal guest in store. I'm going to wait for the intro because it's going to be a good one. You already know who it is. We talk about it all week. We are beyond excited. We're going to talk Gators basketball, of course, and we bring back Spurrier Jr. to the team. It's a great day to be a Gator. Let's get after it, boys and girls. Without further ado, our co-host for the evening, Mr. David Swolder. What's going on, big dog? Good to see you. How you feeling, baby?
And oh man, I usually have a long intro, but I really don't have one this time. I've had a hard week, but this show is just gonna make up for it. It's Wednesday. It's High Top, baby. Let's get it. Let's go.
That's all I got. I've been fired up for this show, man. I'm beyond pumped for our guest today to chit chat with him, to pick his ear about a couple of things, man. And I know the chat is too. We got 109 strong already, and we're just getting fired up. Ladies and gents, let's not waste any more time than we have to. Without further ado, 6'4", 250, the man that made Mike Norvell change his name to Karen Norvell. Okay, the flag planter himself, ladies and gents, Mr. George Gumbs Jr. Give him the intro, babe. Give him the intro.
As we go fun.
Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning.
Yes, sir. George, pleasure.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Man, thank you for coming on. Shout out to Rookie for making that intro for us, man. We're pumped to have you on the show. This is going to be fantastic stuff, man. And really glad that you were able to join us today and talk all things Florida football. We were talking before the show started. Great break. Mm-hmm. Feeling good about this team, man. That's the big thing. What's the buzz right now, man?
What's the buzz? Just the pieces that we have added, to not lose so much from last year, and then just to see like the expectations that we have from the guys that's still here, and then the people that's coming in, like me, myself, our defense, the added pieces on offense, and just seeing everybody working hard and just thinking about like the thought of what we're gonna bring to the field, this fall.
I love it, Dave.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped, super pumped, and obviously you don't lose a lot on defense this year, and of course, there was that big turnaround in 2024, and I kind of, at the beginning of the year as a fan, you start watching the defense, and you're like, man, you're feeling kind of deflated, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. It was a complete 180 turnaround. I think we started seeing glimpses of it in the Tennessee game. Then you saw a lot of it in the Kentucky game, and it just kind of trickled down. We've heard from, I think there was a player interview where they talked about how the players all got together and talked to Billy Napier and said, hey, can we, play more of a simple defense or something like that. I may be getting that wrong, but you're in the locker room with a lot of these guys. You're with everybody. What was kind of the mentality like, and what caused that 180 to happen? Was it just a bunch of people getting together and say, hey, look, we got to work harder, or was it something else?
I feel like the sudden change, like after the Tennessee game, it was a hard loss going into overtime, and it's like that's definitely what all of us wanted. And like looking at our schedule going down the line, it was like it wasn't gonna get no easier, and it was just me feeling how I felt. I was just like letting everybody know like I'm not a losing person, and just telling everybody like this is not how it's gonna go, and just letting everybody know like we can't accept defeat, and just we want to all bring more to the table because like we could do this, like, and then like especially like having a game like that with Tennessee, especially like having everybody not being on our side, expecting us to lose, and like having a great game, especially defensively. Like, okay, if we play great defense, we could definitely have a chance and bring our offense along, and we could really knock some teams off.
The noise, it was loud last season on the expectation for Florida in this football team, and we haven't really had a chance to talk to anybody, but there's something that I've always credited this team, why I love this team so much, is the fact that nobody quit. I mean, and there was times, like you said, tough loss after Tennessee, like it's deflating, but the fact that you guys turned it around and just, like you said, you kind of heard it, what was happening here. What was what made y'all be able to maintain that focus and be able, every week I felt like you guys were phenomenal. Like we always say, you gotta be a goldfish, let it roll off your back, or a duck, let it roll off your back. How are you guys able to do that and to keep focus week in and week out and just dominate and get on that run?
I feel like just like having a great understanding of your teammates and great relationships. You got a bunch of guys that we we all know each other. We all like built in like a family. So like everybody out there really trying to lay it on the line for the next person. So it's not that hard. You know, you take a loss. You know, you get back in, see what you did wrong, and you know we do all the little tweaks and everything Sunday. But that Monday it's back to work. We're looking for we're getting ready throughout the weekend. And just getting ready for Saturday. So it's just
Back
something
to
that
it.
I feel like we can do. Yeah, back to it. You know.
I love it, man. Last year, a big voice on the defense, I would say, is Cam Jackson. I mean, that personality, he's everywhere. He's contagious. Tyreek
My
Sapp's
favorite
another one.
player.
Yeah, and I feel like you really embodied that and became a voice in the locker room. You could just kind of tell from your energy. Is that something you intend on bringing over, and kind of what are maybe some other leaders that we don't know about that have stepped up this offseason that we should be excited to see about alongside you and others?
Yeah, I feel like another leader I'd probably say is Cam James. Yeah, he's very vocal in the locker room too. So like going pregame and halftime, he'll definitely give a good speech and tell her like what's going on. And like me myself, like I like to always get guys like on the effort aspect, you know, do your assignment, but also like populate that ball, fly around the field. You know, if you play with great effort, is bound to make great plays. So
I love that. I
that's
love
my
hearing
thing.
about Cam James. Cam James is one of the guys out. He flies on the football field too. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do this year. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just gonna say, I read a good story from Scott Carter a while back, and I may get the details a little bit mixed up because it's been a while since I've read that. But he talks a lot about how you play different sports growing up, and you eventually became a football player, and your
Mhm.
dad played a huge role in that as well. George Gumbs Senior there. What's some of the best advice your dad has given you through going through all the sports and your career and everything else through high school and into college?
You know, through all my whole career and like all the adversity I went through, like the one of the main things he definitely stuck to my head is like just staying there, just keep fighting. So like even when things got rough, he still kept my head right to keep the same approach to the game and how it worked. Just staying there and keep fighting no matter what happened.
Yeah, and sometimes like even I see it a lot, not with players necessarily, but maybe like people outside of football, just normal human beings that work like maybe the regular 9 to 5 or something, is they get really discouraged when like something bad happens. And the thing is like you go into war out there every day. So like you still gotta strap up and you still gotta get things done. And
No doubt.
for somebody to go through some adversity, kind of like what you did, and through I guess a little bit through Northern Illinois or whatever, trying to play offense, you eventually make it to defense. You never gave up on yourself, and that's what makes a good player. It actually just makes a good person in general, but that's what makes some of the best players, some of the most elite players, is they just don't give up, and they just keep going. I mean, even Tim Tebow, obviously he didn't make it in the NFL or anything, but he never gave up. I mean,
Right.
eventually, he got older, and physically when you get older, you can't do the things that you could do when you're in your 20s or 30s, but the kid never gave up.
Tell me about it.
And that's I mean, that's just something you got to have in that sport. You got to be mentally tough.
Yeah, I agree.
So George, I want to talk about, obviously you come to Florida through the transfer portal last year. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I was a big Gumbs fan coming into last year. Okay, I said, hey, keep your eye out for Mr. George, guys, and everyone's like, I said, keep your eyes out for Mr. George, and sure enough, we're gonna talk about the flag plane because that's how everyone's chomping at the bits to get your thoughts and opinions about it. But when you're at Northern Illinois, I don't know quite sure how the recruiting process works in the portal, but I'm assuming a couple guys are knocking on your door, other schools, right, alongside Florida. I don't know who all those offers were. If you can say who they are, I don't know if you're allowed to. That'd be great. But I want to know kind of how that process went and ultimately why Florida and what was so intriguing and how they recruited you versus somebody else. Because obviously they saw the talent that you were able to do and really allowed you to flourish down here in Florida. Why Florida over anybody else in the portal?
Okay, so when I first entered the portal, like my head was like almost set in stone that I was going to Cincinnati because it wasn't too far from home. It was like I feel like a great situation, and the room wasn't too bad. Like I feel like I seemed like I could be. But like once I got there, I loved the city, the atmosphere. It was just like kind of the scheme. I really ain't like. But like me, I'll be able to like put that aside and be able to try and thrive in it. You know. Then I heard from Florida like once, so but when I heard from, I really didn't think it was serious. I'm like, Florida? University of Florida, the Gators. Won't me? I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So I kind of blew it off the first time.
Okay.
So and then I kind of ironically, I took a trip to Miami, and they had called again. So they just got me a flight after my trip to go to Gainesville, and I checked it out, liked everything about the position, the room. I'm like, okay, I could do this. Let's do it. You know, I always wanted to be in Florida anyway, and I'm here.
I love that. That's pretty cool to hear about the Cincinnati story. Who was your primary recruit that really kind of that saw you and noticed you? And I mean, I'm assuming they probably talked to the rest of the coaches, but really was intrigued with, you know, what you brought to the table.
Bird from Florida, yeah. My guy Bird. So he talked to me. I talked to him a couple times. So that was the first person I talked to from Florida. So I didn't know you were serious at first. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad it ended up being serious. So
No.
that worked out. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a
glad
fun little
too.
story. People are gonna love that story.
Yeah, it's speaking of Bird Sherrill, some of the staff that reaches out. Obviously, Florida, you know, lost Harris and Will Harris, and now they have hired Deron Wilson. Have you had a chance to speak with Deron Wilson, or has he had a chance to speak with you guys? What's his mentality like? What's he like in the locker room? That sort of thing.
I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to Ryan Wilson for real. Like, so yeah.
You guys still
Okay.
in more of the training period. I do want to talk,
Yeah.
man. Obviously, we know how the season ended. It was in the intro with you planting the flag, and you had a state law created. I don't know if you realize how important you are, but you made FSU basically create a law so that doesn't happen again. I mean, it's a hell of a resume builder, George. Okay, I don't know if you know that or not, but that's pretty impressive. Run us,
I liked it. I liked it myself. I liked it. So
run us through that moment, man. I want to be on the field with you in the visor, going through big win, one hell of a cap to a great season, and then you just kaboom. Talk me through it. I got to hear it.
So, you know, I feel like I had a pretty good game, you know. So, like, I'm like, okay, it's over with. And then, like, leading up to the game, I knew Florida State was a big rivalry. I've seen it on TV plenty of times when I was young. I'm like, dang, I know the game is electric. And then, like, that week, I was just seeing all the things they did to our field the previous year before I was there. I'm like, okay, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So, you know, after everything was said and done, and I made a couple plays on the field, I feel like, okay, let me just stamp this game. I found the flag, and I was on the sideline on the 50, right there, just waiting. As soon as the clock hit 0, ran out there, and planted that thing.
I love that. Again, we as Gator fans, we talk about embodying being what it means to be a Florida Gator, and I love hearing the fact that you understand the rivalry. Just, I mean, it's college football, but then also to go and see what they did. I love it. This is what we preach, because everyone's like, oh, I can't believe you just did that. They forgot what they did just a year ago. Little shovels scraping up our field. Planting the flag was minuscule to that. I love it. I'm sure you were aware that you became a Gator legend. It doesn't take much for us to love you forever. Okay, you're locked in the banks for good.
Yeah, I try to. Some people send me a few things, but I try to stay off the social media because, you know, it's love and hate at times. You know, I just.
Oh,
We
you got
can be crazy
to stay
too,
off
George.
there, man.
We listen with a lot of love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be the other way. I understand that. So. Yeah.
So
He goes, yeah, y'all.
Did you did you get a message from like Chauncey Gardner or everything? Because he tried to do that one year and Taggart caught him and he wasn't able to do that. Did you get a message from him for being like successful with planting the flag?
Nah, I don't think I got a chance. I don't think I got a message from him. So. Yeah.
Chauncey, message this guy. He did it.
I do want to get your thoughts though, because you're saying this fan base, we are a little hectic. How was that transition from playing in Northern Illinois and kind of? I mean, look, up north they're passionate about football as well too, but it feels like it's sometimes a different pulse down here. Have you noticed it, or because you stay off of it, you hear enough to say I don't need to get involved with it? Well, what's your pulse in Florida Nation?
I feel like I hear enough, so I don't got to get involved with it. Like up north, it's football. It's a big thing, but like being at Northern Illinois, you got Maction on Tuesday, Wednesday games at night, cold, everybody at work. Yeah, those it's not going to be a lot of fans in the crowd, but like from Northern Illinois to down here in Florida, it's like night and day though. But I love it though, you know.
It's what like
I love it.
it's what you play for, man. We were kind of talking before the show. You're playing in front of 90,000 strong every single week. That's what you've been thriving to do, and now you're doing it. So it's normal for you. Go ahead, Dave.
No.
Yeah, a lot of us fans, we seen Billy Napier off the screen, like not on screen, not in the locker room, that kind of stuff. First of all, what's Napier like as a person behind the scenes in the locker room, and kind of like what do you like best about Billy Napier? I'll put it that way. What do you like best about Billy Napier?
It's like he's such a calm person. It's kind of funny. Like you'll think like a head coach that's like too calm, like never really have control of his players. But like every time he talk, like everybody stops and listen. And it's just he's so settled and calm with everything and relaxed. Like I don't know when I'm be at practice, I'll be so locked in on what I have to do, but I don't even think I hear him yell a lot for real. But he definitely yell, but like it's not all the time.
It's not an
just
aggressive
such a
yell.
yeah, it's not like yeah.
Do you think do you think most football players prefer that? Do they prefer the more calm or getting yelled at? I mean, there's so many different personalities in college football, especially with head coaches. And I feel like, and with me, I see a lot of the stuff that like Napier, like they'll have him on a hot seat one year, or they'll say something stupid about him when it comes to media or something like that. And he just seems so cool, calm, and collective. Doesn't bother him. He's just locked in. He's zoned. He doesn't even care.
Yeah. You know, I feel like it depends on like players, like in their experience. Like me, I had all types of styles of coaches. Like I'm kind of used to the getting chewed out and you know. Then like having Mike P as my position coach and Coach Nate as my head coach is like kind of like a different thing. But I don't really mind it. Like I'll probably mess up sometimes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get chewed out. Then they just say a couple words. I'm like, oh, okay. So like you know. When I first started playing tight end, I got chewed out so much. It's just learning that playbook your freshman year. It's a lot. Yeah.
And you probably can't. You
Yeah.
probably can't say what the chewing was because I'm pretty sure it was pretty harsh on. I can't say it on the show.
Yeah. Chewing means more than it's funny. I love talking to players and just you hear this persona that Napier, and again, what you see is kind of what you get. And we as fans sometimes want a little fury as a fan base from him. But something I always credit to him is like he's consistent, and I think that speaks volumes because you almost start to respect it, and it's like he kind of puts you in a trance. Like he's not yelling, but you know when he's disappointed and when he's upset, and almost like you said, you kind of go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that all the way. Like you definitely know when that shift of mood, even though he's not saying it or yelling at you, you'll know he's upset about something. You know.
It kind of carries more weight when the guys that are always yelling. You're like, I don't know if he's mad or just still yelling. It's from yesterday. I don't even know. Like you don't know anymore the difference between the two. So there's an art to it for sure, and I think that's you love hearing that. Rookie relents $10. A couple super chats I want to read to people kind of giving you some love here. It says y'all did a good job rallying around Billy after Texas A&M, and I can respect that. Yeah, they love that, man. $10 from Rookie. And then Levi, another $10 says, "Go Gators, Gumbs. Thank you for coming on the show, and your dedication and work will take your boys the rest of the way this season. We believe in you guys. Make it happen." Look, man, we're fired up about it as well. A couple more questions, man. We're again very thankful for you to come on. Huge shout out to Florida Victorious and our guy Nick Delatorre. We were talking about him. A couple gray hairs coming in. I was giving him a little flack. Got that. I call it the freshman 15 when you become a dad that first year, right? Hey, you got it comes in. You know, so we're loving it.
That's all those dinners at Embers, man.
It's paying off, man. But Nick's awesome, man, and we want to kind of get your just hear what you guys say about Florida Victorious. I know you guys work with a lot of great programs and dedicate a lot of your time to whether it's building homes or hanging out with kids. Just kind of give us your thoughts on that and how that's been working with Florida Victorious.
Yeah, I love Florida Victorious, like everything they do and how they approach the everything with it. Like as far as because I've been in schools just reading books and interacting with children, and then from other schools talking to a little bit older children like that's probably misled or never really had a strong figure in their life to building houses for people in need. But like probably one of my favorite ones was Habitat for Humanity. It was like a thing like I get to use my hands and know like building a house. Like I rode past the house I helped build like I just seen it. It was just concrete floor and maybe a few pieces of foundation built up. And it's a beautiful house with a family in it now. It's just like, it's amazing to see that. I'm just so glad to be able to help a family in need get a roof over their head that's well deserved, you know?
That's too cool. I think that's the part where we've talked about it before, just the Gatorade program and the Florida Victorious that, look, obviously as playing here, you'll leave a legacy and you'll help be part of building Gator Nation and what it is. Like we all have our favorite player that we love that's made us become Gator fans. But not only are you going to build the foundation from a fan base and the culture and leaving a legacy, but you're literally building parts of Gainesville with your hands now. And so when you come back, you really have a piece that you put together, put into Gainesville, all because of Florida Victorious. So that's cool, man. I love hearing the fact that you get to see that progress, because we always see, I see the pictures, but it's just you like what you see, the slab. I don't get to see the finished product. So too cool, man. Too cool hearing that. Sean McCook from the chat says, "Hey Gumbs, what are you looking? What game are you most looking forward to this year? Do you got one circled for yourself, or looking for all of it?
What I look forward to most?
What game? And two parts. What game and what are you looking forward to?
Okay, I really love away games. I can't wait to go play LSU at their spot, Miami, and Texas A&M. Those 3 games, I really can't wait to play at, you know. But I just know LSU and A&M will be some places to play at. Yeah.
Something to put on the notch.
And then for me, what I'm looking forward to this season, just like putting my development on the field and just watching everybody else like eat as well. Cause like it's just so nice to watch all your brothers just put in so much work from winter, spring, fall, and just laid out there on the field. So yeah, just putting in those deposits in, you know.
I love that. I love hearing that I want to ask you some questions about other players, but about you. I was nervous at the end of this year. I was like, Gumbs is going to leave us. He's going pro. My man ate this year. Now, I don't know how much you can say, but I imagine there was conversations about moving on to the next level. Were you able to get a grade or a prospect of how they viewed you? Was that even a question, or were you always coming back?
You know, I really didn't get too much into that realm because like I felt like I didn't do enough to get what I want.
Okay.
Once I entered the Go Pro, you know, once I go pro, I really wanted to be like, okay, top dog guy, you know.
Sure.
So
look, I think not enough, maybe on like a lot of great things, maybe not enough to, like you said, to be the top dog. So you already knew in your head, I elevated myself to be in the conversation. This is the year. This is the contract year. Now, let's go leave it all out there because this is my time. I love that. I'm pumped. Listen, we're repping the jersey. Are we wearing the same number this year? We getting a number change?
I'm still on 34.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Everybody's trying to figure out who's number one and all these things. You were nominated by a few people, so we just wanted to feel out the air. Do you know if there's a number change from anybody else? Are you able to?
I have no idea right now, so I'm not sure about that. You know?
I love it. Dave, what do you got, Bubba?
I was going to say, he might be withholding information. No, I'm kidding. So, obviously, we talked about the defense and how it turned around in 2024. You got a lot of players returning in 2025. And some players left for the NFL, but you got a lot of players returning. A lot of them that were injured. They're going to be coming back as well. Obviously, 2024 ended the way that it did. What should Gator fans... What happened?
Well, you good.
Okay.
Billy's calling him. He's watching the show.
Billy Napier's calling you? Yeah. What should Gator fans look for from this defense in 2025?
I say everything as far as guys covering, you know, havoc, a back end, you know, just the front line, just the overall play should be elevated this year. You know, we got multiple guys on the front line that could play, and we got a great back end. I just feel like everything should be well, you know. Then like our defense being a more older group than last year, so.
We talked about on the show on Monday, very few turnover for starting roles. For starting role on the D line, you got Deontay Robinson, a few guys, but those guys played a lot last year. I wouldn't even say that it's a a true turnover because of how much time they played.
Mhm.
I want to get your thoughts. We talked about on our show for us 2 breakout guys on defense that as someone for yourself, and then 2 breakout guys on offense that are really going to shock Gator Nation this year.
Some breakout guys, I'd say. I'd say one person I'd probably say is Miles Graham. He's gonna be a problem. I definitely say he's gonna be a problem. He's a little small, but he's strong. He's very strong. Like sometimes I mess with him in the locker room. Like I don't even want to play no more because he be too strong and rough. Sometimes I'm like, come on, dog, just chill, dog, for real. And then another guy, I say LJ McCray. I see him working hard, so he he's going to be an issue next year. And then like being able to play last year, get the speed of the game, so he knows what to expect. So it should be some big things coming from him.
George says he doesn't read the noise. I don't believe him. He just gave the 2 names that he knows is going to send a fire through Gator Nation. Elgin McCray. Listen, everybody wants Miles Graham. We love Miles, big time linebacker coming in. And Elgin McCray, man, everyone wants to see what he's going to do. Our 5-star guy. So you saying those are going to be guys to watch is going to fire everybody up. On offense, who we looking at, man? There's a lot of talent over there this time.
Ooh, it is a lot of guys over there. Including the freshmen. So we're gonna say breakout. I'm gonna put my money on VB3.
He knows what he's doing.
Because I see how he works, and I like it. He got a good work ethic, so that's definitely going to pay off in the season. Another guy, who else we got over there? Can't say DJ.
Can't say DJ.
Can't say DJ. He played last year. Everybody know about him, So
no secrets there.
Yeah. Who else on offense?
A lot of starters coming back too, man. That's the big thing. That's what we were talking about.
Right. I'll probably say the other receiver, Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, Florida fans will be excited to hear that, man.
I trust his analysis on Miles Graham because I've interviewed him twice already, and every time he was on the screen, his traps just looked like they were going to take over the whole screen.
And look, George, you're an absolute beast. We've seen the photos. You're a beast, man. I do want to get your thoughts on this as well too. If you got to go, you just holler, bro, because we're having an absolute blast. I don't know if you're having as much fun, but we're having a ton of fun. With the obviously strength and conditioning, there was a whole situation last year with Fitzgerald. He leaves. Tyler Miles comes in. I think the transition was beautiful. I was ecstatic with how things looked. That the team looked fantastic. Second time through, how is it for you? How is the rest of the team taking it in? Have there been some adjustments that should excite the fans going into this year as well?
I feel like it was a good transition. Seeing last year, I heard the year before last, like it was a strength issue, obviously. Now I feel like Coach Miles he definitely addressed that issue this year. Like last year, with guys saying they felt much stronger than us being able to bully people and be like big dogs on the field. So like this year, it's just really the same thing. Everybody getting more comfortable. He know everybody. We know him, and it's just soaking it in together. And we just know what to expect and bringing energy every day. Everybody building, ready to work. It's a fun thing,
No, I think it's what's so important people to realize too, and I said this as well, is like last year, again, you're learning him, he's learning you guys, although he was there, but to be the leader, you've got that. This year, you all went through his process, you understand him, so now you're able to embody what he believes and pass that on to the new guys. There's a nice little recipe happening, a nice little cook up for some success coming up this year. Dave, what you got?
Yeah, you when you were talking, you said, well, I can't say Lagway, but I am going to ask you a DJ Lagway question. Obviously, we know what he's done in high school as fans. We watched him in high school. We watched him basically when he was a starter, didn't get hurt during a game and finished the game out. He's 6-0 as a quarterback.
Right.
What's DJ Lagway's energy and leadership like against just about the whole team? I know they always say, oh, well, the team's playing better for Lagway. I think part of that is true, but the other part of it isn't, because I think the team played pretty hard for Mertz too, especially in that Tennessee game and all that. But what really just magnifies, I guess, a lot of people around DJ Lagway, and what's his personality like?
I mean, he's a very relaxed person. Like he's not like too rowdy for real. So like, well for what I know, he's not too rowdy, but like he's very relaxed, calm, collected. I guess like with him being who he is and him being so calm and knowing what he have to do is pretty easy to bring his guys around. So like, and then like us seeing that, it's either us feeding off them or they're feeding off us. So like, we get a good drive, something good gonna happen. We see him throw a nice touchdown. It's about to be a good stop.
Yeah, feeding off somebody, obviously somebody that's a leader as a quarterback, every team should obviously feed off the quarterback and obviously the other players surrounding them. But what about coming out the first game, at home in Gator Nation, in the stadium? What was the crowd? What was the atmosphere like, man?
The atmosphere was like crazy. It's like I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like I could do this every Saturday. Like it's gonna be like, but like I'll probably say it's like one of the most memorable. Like without like the game results, like just my first time coming out as a Florida Gator for a game, it was like crazy.
Yeah, it's like Shelton times 90,000.
Yeah, that just spot on there. Well, George, this has been an absolute blast. We got 330 strong. Everyone go buy it. He has confirmed he's repping 34 next year. So everyone go scoop themselves up a George Gumbs 34. We don't have to worry about any portal nonsense with George. He'll graduate a Gator, which is fantastic. We love hearing that. And listen, George, we're gonna extend our olive branch here when you're gearing up for the NFL draft this time. If you don't, wherever they have it, I don't know where it's gonna be next year. If you want to stay at home and live stream it, we're happy to have you. Okay, we'll come hang out. We'll do the whole thing, and we'll be there when the hat goes. If you need us, you probably don't need us, but if you need us, just letting you know we're.
Gotcha. I definitely remember that invite.
What's that?
I definitely remember that invite.
That's all I ask, man. That's all I ask. Well, George, tell them not that you're on social media, you got to stay away from our madness. I don't know if you want us following you because it could be mayhem, but tell them when they give you a follow on the X and the Instagram, man, so they can support you.
Gotcha. My Instagram is just my name, GeorgeGumbs.jr. Yeah. And then my Twitter is George Gumbs.
It was very helpful when I was tagging you. I really appreciate it. Instead of being like a couple digits, still a couple of weird random letters. It was very refreshing. So thank you for that. George, this was highlight of my week, man. It's been a great week, and this has been an absolute blast, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're more than welcome to come back. We could have a segment like Aaron Rodgers if you wanted to. We could do a whole thing. It's again another olive branch. You let me know. We'll talk to Nick. We'll figure it out. You be good, man. Yeah. Give us a Go Gators and chomp chomp. We'll see you on out, man.
Okay, go Gators.
There it is, baby. Gators by a million. Thank you, George.
Thanks, George. See you, man.
Gator fans, we're spoiled. Okay.
We are.
What an incredible interview with Mr. I mean, that was Dave.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not me. The fact they let us goobers have a mic is beyond nonsense. I miss some. We got a couple things we've got to go over. Okay, this show is flying. When we have guests on, guys, I try to stay focused. So I miss some of your super chats. That's how me. But I want to be dialed in and give them my full attention. And then we got some unfortunate news that I want to talk about as well, and then some cool news, and we'll get back to rolling. But $50 from our sponsor, Rookie. This is for him not using the code HIGHTOP when signing up for Florida Victorious today. He signed up for Florida Victorious today and did not use the code HIGHTOP. It's unbelievable. The rookie's our guy, and that's when he dropped the ball. What's the code, Dave, for Florida Victorious? It's just HIGHTOP, right? Or is it HIGHTOP 20?
It's HIGHTOP, and you save 20% on your first month's membership or annual membership.
Come on with it, boys and girls. Florida Victorious, they're doing some great things. They got something dropping in literally just 3 days here, March 1st. They talked about it on the show, and we got yelled at for that. But anyways, Rookie, $50. George Gumbs Jr. once uppercutted a horse. Its descendants are known as giraffes. I wish I would have read this while he was on. I am so upset that I did not see this. I am beyond devastated that I didn't see this.
Just clip it and then tag him in it. Even though he didn't get on social media, maybe one day he logs in like 2 months from now and sees it.
Maybe he will. I read his $10 one, so I'm glad I saw that one. Oh, I missed this one too, man. Gosh dang it. Sorry, Stephen Harris. $5 is what was it like for him? Oh, you asked him. Okay, cool. Glad you asked anyways. Thank you, Stephen. Sorry, man.
I got old Steve covered.
All right, glad you saw it. $2 from Rookie, says Dolly Wally. And then Tim, $5 from Gator Believer says, George voice sounds like Harris, that D, lime blood. The D-line blood. Yeah, I just got that. Yeah.
What I like though, like he's got such a calm demeanor about himself, but he plays like he doesn't. But that's like
The
a lot of
switch.
those players that usually have that calm demeanor are usually ballers and they're gamers, and they don't talk, they just play football.
I love both parties. You know, I'm crazy, so I love the smack talkers. As I've gotten older, I appreciate those silent psychopath killers is what I call them. Like they're just like
Hey,
it's like a
hey,
little
it,
Keekleys. Like they put the Superman vocals on after the fact that are just wearing a suit and tie and they rip it off and they're just a menace and I love it.
hey, there's some players that have talked something backed it up too. So I mean, I think what Chelsea is one of them. Even Tebow talked a little bit when LSU players like the fans got his phone number and started calling him and stuff like that.
Makes a little bit of a difference when those guys kind of speak up. Loved hearing him talk about Miles Graham and LG McCray. I'm sure that's gonna pop up on a article somewhere. People be fired up about that one. Tim Bucks from Rookie Lynn says y'all earned this. Thank you, Rookie. I appreciate y'all. Look, man, we wouldn't be here
Thanks,
without
man.
everybody tuned in
Appreciate
every
it,
single
man.
Wednesday night, man. I literally I know I say this, but genuinely from the bottom of my heart, the reason why I always say it is because I got to pinch myself. The fact that I continue to do this, we get to do this every single week, and people continue to tune in. I don't take this for granted. It's special. And speaking of
Absolutely.
taking things for granted, we got to say some prayers and show some love. Terry Waters, a guy that you've seen in this show a handful of times, always usually the first one in, last one out kind of guy in the comment section. And what kills me, he's always in there chit chatting and saying, "Hey, he was battling cancer and had his chemo treatments and all those things." We lost somebody close earlier this last week to cancer, and I wanted to make sure that I gave Terry an extra shout out on Monday. And he's in there, and I say, "Hey, Terry, I love you, man. Good to see you. Hope all's going well." And then his son was in here earlier today, and he has passed. So prayers for Terry, prayers for his family. This is the hard part of the job. You get close to people. You're on
Yep.
here every single
Yep.
day. They come in, they chit chat, and in a weird way, like it's the crazy part is they become family. And they really do. I'm not just saying that. Like your avatar, I don't know you, you know me, and you'll come to the game, and you guys shake my hand as if we've known each other our whole lives, and I'm like I don't know you from your avatar. You got to tell me who you are, and then they'll tell me their name, and then it's like, oh yeah, like I'm putting a face now with the personality that's been in the chat for the last 3 or 4 years, however long you've been part of the show. So Terry's been one of those guys that's been a staple, and he'll be missed for sure. Much love for Terry and the fam.
Yeah, it's it can be crazy sometimes doing something like this, and like you meet a lot of people and you make a lot of friendships out of it, and like you said, you meet people with avatars. You don't even know who they are. They come up to you and you're just like, well, who are you? I've never seen you because I have an avatar. And then you find out and you figure it out. And then, you meet him at every tailgate and you say hi to him every time you see him around. And then all of a sudden, you know, somebody, you don't see him anymore. And that's the thing. It's like we always got to live in the present, but we also got to, say that, hey, there could be no tomorrow. So, if, you live your life the way that you should. And it's just unfortunate, man. Cancer sucks, and it's taken way too many lives. And unfortunately, we lost a really good member of High Top. And prayers out to him and his family and all that too. I mean, it's just horrible.
It sucks, man. And so I look. I genuinely appreciate every day and appreciate the fact that we could continue to do this. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for the likes and all the the donos are crazy today. So
Yeah,
thanks guys so much.
absolutely.
Let's try to turn. Look, I didn't mean to bring down the mood, but I wanted to give our guys some love, and I wanted to do the beginning of the show, but I also didn't want to bring George down. We wanted to be George be fired up when we got rock and rolling. So that's kind of how I positioned that. Let's do the J Mac 10 bucks. Keep burning it, boys. We appreciate it, J Mac. We're gonna be talking about
Thanks,
the new
J-Mac.
hire with Steve Spurrier Jr. and then of course the Gator basketball last night. I got a lot to say about that basketball team. Sean McCook, George this year for the defense, 50 sacks more or less. That was probably a question, but he's probably a little bit delayed. The other thing, we have some two cool things. One being Lewis Murphy. Ever heard of him? Probably have. Played for Florida Gators. Yes, sir. We'll be on the show March 10th, I believe is the day. We're going to be on with Stephen Harris. Beyond pumped for that. So not next Monday, but the following Monday. There will be no show next Monday. I'll be on vacation. There will be show Wednesday. We don't miss those shows. But the following Monday, Lewis Murphy will be on the show with me, myself, Stephen Harris, and then, of course, Lewis Murphy. So really excited for that show coming up here in just a few weeks. I saw the comments about the Gravy Biscuits. I love the overalls. Listen, boys, I'm fired up. Shout out to our sponsors for the next couple of months, FOCO. They sent these bad boys in, and I'm listen. Dave was like, "Where's my stuff?" I'm like, "Dave, I talked to these people yesterday.
I'm jealous. I'm
They
jealous.
they fong bombed it in, and they flew it in like direct express, delivered it themselves. Here's the cool part about these guys. This is a little side star. Interviewed them, talked to them. They're like, "Hey, really love your show, love your energy, like love kind of what you bring." And I was like, "Cool, man, thanks, appreciate it." So like, "Hey, send us what you would like for us to send you." And I sent them, "Hey, I've ordered from them before. They have cool bobbleheads. Awesome bobblehead they sent me." I was like, "Hey, I would love this. Like, if you guys send me this, I'll talk about Foco." Like, cool, we'll send you a few other things. They sent me this, and I'm going to wear all the other stuff later on. I was going to wear this with no shirt, but I don't want to scare George. So I didn't fully send it. They sent me a Gators captain hat. I can't reach it. Some shades, a flag, and a book bag. This book bag we're going to give away, though, to all of you, one of you lucky fans out there. So the guys got us dialed in, which I love. That was what fired me up from the get-go. But check out Foco. They got some incredible gear right now. I love the fact they're partnered with this because now they really embody the Gator world, right? They've got so many cool things, flags, bobbleheads, glasses, the captain hat, these overalls, all kinds of things. I mean, there's tumblers, slippers, like you name it, you got it. And right now they're giving on March 1st. We're a little early, but I was so fired up because this is fun stuff and you Gator fans can be rocking and rolling, especially this little Gator bobblehead here. High top 15 to get 15% off. Link is in the description. Go smash that link. Go check it out. Wait till the first though to use the code. I don't think the code's even activated till the first. This is free because they don't even start to the first. That's how fired up I was to get this stuff out here because these things I'm pumped about. And here's what I want to do. I want you guys to go buy some stuff from Foco, especially these overalls, because nothing I would love more than us on spring game to be just squatted up, overalled up. Like that would make my day, number one. Everybody who orders something, you should send us an email at hightopsports2@gmail.com with a photo with whatever you decided to get. Okay? We'll pick one lucky winner to get this book back. So, free fun stuff.
Foco has so many different ways to dress up Shelton on the show. It's unreal. I mean, there's probably an outfit for like 5 more years on every show.
I'm pumped. Use the link in the description, Levi. Use the link in the description. So, look, I know it's kind of a long-winded there, but I was fired up for this stuff, and they sent us a lot of cool gear, and the bobblehead I was really fired up for, too. We got Trav's $10 says, "Love you, boys. High Top fam is the best. Love you, too, Travis," said, "except Cody."
Love you too, man.
Which I love. And then Sean McCook says, "Gators defense more or less than 50 sacks this year." Okay, he was asking us. Seems like a lot of sacks. How many we have last year, Dave?
I'm taking the over. I believe I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, look it up real quick.
I know it was near that number.
The Dolly Wally t-shirt's going to hit hard. Go Gators. We're back like it's to the early 2000s. 300 strong on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday night now. Smash the like button, subscribe. While you pull that up, let's talk about the new hire with Florida Gators with Napier brings back the old ball coach. Kinda. Brings back Mr. Steve Spurrier Jr. I say brings back the Spurrier name, brings back that energy. Look, love this hire. Was the OC at Tulsa last year, as from my understanding. Obviously, he's been around for a very long time, coached with a lot of different things. He is just replacing a spot. He's not adding on. Obviously, we've been hired a lot of off-field assistants. Dan Enos is the guy who he's replacing, which that name probably rings a bell because when we were the discussions of terminating Mr. Billy Napier, who would be the interim head coach, Dan Enos' name was slung around a couple of times. So could
you mean when I was like on my period for 2 weeks?
Yeah. So could Steve Spurrier be that name if that were to happen? He was an assistant at Arizona in 2004, and Florida quarterback coach Ryan O'Hara was there. So they've got a little bit of a nice little connection, which is good to see. This is all from our guy, Zach Alberverdi at On 3. Thanks, Zach. Zach also dropped a phenomenal video following Tramel Jones around, our new 2025 freshman quarterback, a day in the life of Tramel Jones. Incredible stuff. Great content. Go check that stuff out. Zach's a beast when it comes to that kind of thing. So
yeah, Zach's done some good work over the years too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really check that video out.
Guy's a beast. But under Spurrier, Tulsa's offense in 2023 ranked among the top 35 nationally for rushing, red zone offense, third down conversions, and passing yards per completion. The Golden Hurricane ranked 6'7" nationally, and total offense that season is 62nd last year. So, again, I think it's a nice, healthy addition to that offense. And again, working alongside Ryan O'Hare brings a lot to that quarterback room / because he's been working alongside Ryan in that quarterback room. Also, shout out to Buddy Martin. This guy broke this news like 3 years ago. Not really. He broke it like last month. And I remember I sent it to you and I go, this is from the hip. What's up? And it took 30 days for it to be officially announced. But I remember who said it first. So shout out to Buddy Martin. I'm not going to let that die on deaf ears. Okay. I got the tweet. He needs to bring it back that I called it first. Because my man, he called it. He literally goes, I think he said it was going to break the same week. I don't know, maybe I think when Coach Finney broke, he's like, expect more news. Spurrier will be on this staff. It just depends on when it is announced. And I was like, there's no way. And then it went away, and I was like, he's crazy. No, he was dialed in. I love it.
Yeah, one thing about Buddy, man, he's really close to like Urban, Spurrier, all those guys. Like I've seen them on his show numerous times watching Buddy Martin, and I mean, if he's got some info about Spurrier or something related to Urban, you better trust that's pretty much probably correct. And look, I ain't opposed to having, a relative HBC on the staff. I mean, you go back to those Spurrier days, man. I don't think anybody would oblige to having somebody related to him on staff.
Yeah, look, I think having him and having a guy that has he's got a ton of OC experience as well.
Yeah.
A lot of experience there into the room, which is exciting. You guys are saying, hey, we're to get the overalls, FOCO. Link is in the description. Go check it out. You wait till the 15th, or excuse me, the 1st, March 1st, use high top 15. Go scoop it. This is going to be my outfit for the next like 2 weeks. So you'll be seeing plenty of these overalls. I won't have an undershirt next time. I literally sat here for 10 minutes before Dave got in to see how it would look. I was like, I can't do an interview with the shirt off. Like I don't know George like that. We're not on a first name basis yet. Next time, when we do, like we said, when we do the draft party next year, then I'll be there. Overalls, no shirt. I feel comfortable now. I feel like I can do that now. We're on a first name basis. This time I couldn't do that.
Yeah. So also, yeah, that's high top 15 after March the 1st, or else what? I'm supposing that's 15% off. Correct.
You spot on there, Dave. Spot on there, Dave.
There you go.
This guy's a trained assassin, boys.
I know. I'm a trained assassin. I mean, look, you tell me something. Even if I got to figure it out, I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it in. He's bathing in it. I am bathing in it. Boys and girls, 315 strong. Smash the like button. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's see if we get a 200 likes. It's been a long time since we've been humming like this. I'm feeling pretty good. But yeah, big love this edition. This wasn't officially announced. I got to give credit to credit is due. Brandon Olson retweeted it, so for me to even notice this news. But Kaysen Bicknell. Bicknell was recently the Arizona Wildcats as a special teams assistant. We all know how we could always use some extra love on special teams. He changed his profile pic to this. So I can also say with confidence, drop a little bit of a nugget. I can't talk. I can't say any much more. But as we all know, my aunt lives in Gainesville. She has a neighbor. She had 2 neighbors. One moved to Houston. We all know who that is. But she has another neighbor, and all the players are over there tonight having a little dinner. So cool little stuff. That's not really anything groundbreaking, but just love hearing the guys are all together. Okay, just love hearing the gangs together and doing.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Shelton, Florida had 46 sacks last year, and leading the way obviously was Tyreek Sapp at 8, according to PFF.
I like the over. I like the over. I think. Look, you think about it because I bet 50 of those came in like the last 5 games. So if you basically wasted 3 games, okay? So you get rid of those.
I'm getting a request that says we need a swole shirt for Dave.
A swole shirt. What's a swole? Like just a swole? We've got it. So we have a little bit of we've had some reconstruction done to our website where we're working on some few things. We're actually partnered up with MSN now. So all of our articles and all these good things are being published to MSN, which is crazy to think of just kind of how far we've come. So when Dave writes a little article and you think like, oh, he's on Twitter. No, Dave's on MSN. Okay. We're basically like a legitimate news source now. Why? I don't ask questions. Okay. We've got sports sites quoting us. It's mayhem out there, boys. Okay.
When you bring on the expert and just reporting the news, you get deals from MSN. You know what I'm saying?
We're dialed in over here. So we're rocking and rolling just in our mom's basement, just crushing natties and bush lattes. So we're doing it. We're doing big things. Make the George Gumbs edit tonight. You'll have it in the morning. Look at Rookie. Rookie Lentz just dude. Rookie is like the most incredible sponsor because he pays to work. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like I don't understand how he processes this, but that's just how he works. Like I love it. He's the greatest employee of all time. But he asked if he could change his name on X to high top rookie. I go, yeah. I mean, you've earned the stripes, and I don't think he has yet, but he's definitely earned the stripes to have the high top
He's
brand on him.
he's a godsend in our Discord as well. Like every time I load up Discord, I could just go to a rookie comment or a text or a picture, and I can
Never
just
misses.
laugh.
Never misses.
Never misses.
He shout out to him. He's the one who made the intro for Mr. George today. So just so you guys are aware of that one. Gators by a million shirt. We need it. I know. I know. Please quit yelling at me. I'll get on it. All right, boys. Let's talk about this basketball nonsense that happened last night. I got a bone to pick.
Oh, you
Dave.
go ahead. You go ahead. You're the big basketball guy. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you have this one.
So, quick overhead, right? Let's look at it. You can say, hey, it's not a big deal. Middle of the season, it's a loss. Yes, quickly looking at a glance, does it truly impact the grand outcome of the season? No. Here's why I don't like it. And then I'll tell you why I do like it. Okay? More reasons I don't than I do, but we'll get into it. I don't like it because this was a game that we were battling a 1 versus 2 seed, which I've been making the case all season long how important that is. You want as easiest road as possible. No need to flirt around that 2 seed to play a higher seed later on when you can play as the easiest schedule as possible. This game caused that. And you also gave juice to Georgia, who was not the first 4 out, the next 4 out. They were in a must-win situation. So this game wasn't some, in my opinion, walk of a pass of a game. Both teams had some want to win this and need to win this game to elevate their success headed into the postseason. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, Florida has 4 losses this year. One of those losses was to Tennessee, where I just felt like they just got beat, right? Tennessee Blitz played a better game. That you can point to other things too. This game and the Kentucky game had one thing that was grossly in common, and it was the fact that they could not shoot a free throw to save their life. And this team isn't historically a bad free throw shooting team, but have games like this, which concern me. You can't head into the postseason and do that. All right? That's just not going to work. You got to be able to make free throws, especially in the clutch. The third thing, we even said it before this game, and they kind of had sluggish starts leading up to this game. I go, you don't want to get in the habit of starting off slow. We talked about it with Georgia football in this past season. You start those habits, those become reality. And if you start off slow in the regular season, or in the postseason, kind of what happened last night is what you can see. You make a good run, you do it because you are the better team, but then you kind of run out of gas, and the team that shouldn't win wins. And that's what happened last night. And I also now have to deal with obnoxious Georgia fans rushing the court, and that just kind of is icing on the cake. I can overcome those things, though. Those are small things. The free throw stuff, losing this when it was kind of teetering on one seat, those things were important. Why I like it, which could outweigh everything that I just said, is that, like in baseball, you want to lose games at the right time. This, to me, was a game. It was a perfect wake-up call game. Could we afford it? Yes. It may have cost us a 2 seed, possibly, but we also have opportunities to win it back. So it isn't a full nail in the coffin, okay? So that's why I like it. Because it's a great time to get punched in the face, kicked in the nuts one more time before you go into this postseason mindset. We've got a big 3-game stretch. So for all those reasons, I'm not that mad about it. It just sucks that I got to deal with these obnoxious fans, and the fact that it was Mike White makes it even worse. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I kind of glimpsed back and forth between that game. I was looking at the score, didn't really get the chance to watch it, but I noticed, like, looking at the stats afterwards, yeah, Florida missed a whole ton of free throws. You hit those free throws, you easily win that game. The issue that you shouldn't have was Georgia storming the field, because you always want your opponent storming the field when they beat you in a regular season game, because that means you've been kicking their ass for the longest time. And that's just normal. That's just a normal day at the office for Florida. But for Georgia, oh my God, we got to rush the field. It was a regular season game. We may make the NIT and not the NCAA tournament. I mean, they're playing for like, pennies and peanuts and everything else. Well, whereas Florida, they're playing for a natty. So I like it when you can have your opponent in that category. It's kind of like the same as like FSU rushing the field when they finally beat us in like 2022. Like, that's where you want your opponent. You want your opponent on the celebratory side because they beat you because they suck so bad. So I kind of like the way that they rushed the field after the game, but obviously, of course,
court.
the court. I'm so used to saying the field because I'm a football guy, but of course, you want that to happen, but you don't want it to happen because it was a loss. But at the same time, I mean, I think you got Alabama and some other teams coming up to where you can kind of, if you win those games, can that help later on in the NCAA tournament? But at the end of the day, you still got to win those games and not come out flat the first half of the game, and then you have to play catch up because you were down. I think they were down by almost 30 at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're down by a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting spanked. And look, I think here's the other part of it too, because I came out with a video the day before about how Florida was being dissed in the AP poll. They weren't getting enough love and respect, and they go out there and play like that. It's like, okay, well, maybe the AP poll had it right. Maybe I was wrong. So I look dumb there too, which that's fine with. Look, I'm okay with losing those games. It is what it is, and it's not the end of the world. But I think what most importantly, what to me was like, look, this game has value to it because you're fighting for that 1 seed. But like I said, I think most of us can agree. Good swift and kick to the groin area there at the right time. At the right time, a great wake up call. Another thing that's really kind of important to note is these games that are on the road. All the three, I'm pretty sure we lost Mizzou at home, ugly loss. The other three were all on the road. You won't face any of that kind of atmosphere in the tournament, which home court advantage in basketball. I mean, outside, I think college football obviously is massive home field, but basketball is such a huge advantage in my opinion, especially in college basketball. Home court advantage is huge. I kind of would like to see maybe a little bit of playoff basketball at these at home, because I think it would just the energy would be nuts. But it is a legitimate cheat code in college basketball. So you're able to really kind of get on massive runs where I don't think you're going to have that same carryover when you go to these tournaments. So now there's the other part of it is, hey, how does our team play in a neutral area? That was still left to be unseen. So that's a big one there. But all in all, not upset about it. We've got a massive weekend coming up. I think Texas A&M is this weekend at Florida, right? It's game day. And then is it Bama, then Auburn is how it goes? You don't know.
I looked at the
I'm asking the
schedule
wrong
the other
guy.
day. Yeah, you're asking the football guy that I looked at the schedule. I saw Alabama on the schedule because I know they're ranked pretty high. But
So we got
as I said, I mean,
at home versus A&M Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday's the last game of the year? Is that the it?
I think there
Oh,
was
no,
I thought there was 3 games.
There is. And then we go at home versus Ole Miss. So nice little close there. Well,
Yeah, I mean, look, as I said, dude, you beat them by 30 earlier in the year, and I saw somebody saying Kirby was there just to rub it in. It's like I think Kirby was there when we beat him by 30, and Kirby's been there when they've
no,
lost
he
like
didn't
crazy too.
he didn't go to the game in Gainesville. No way.
Oh, he
No
didn't.
way.
Well, I know
No.
he's been at games where they've lost, so I mean, I don't think there was anything really behind that. I think he was just there to support the NIT basketball players over there.
Van Rivers says, Shelton, back to the gear for spring game. You can tell the crew the overalls are short talls, but I'm in. Oh, you have short overalls. These are long. These are pants. I do have short overalls too, but these are pants. These are full gear. So I would love for y'all to dial into that if we can. That'd be an absolute blast.
Doesn't that get hot though? Like,
Dave, listen, that is so negative. Like, what are you talking about? We are committed to the game. My guys
know,
are out there
man.
sweating on the field. I can sweat a few. Is it hot?
yeah, that's why I was asking because we're hot, baby.
No,
Is that-
that's no. You should say like, hey, like from a scale of 1 to 10, how sexy is it hot? Why even? I can't.
Well, the terminology
I'm glad
I
the
meant
show's
from
over.
hot.
I'm
is
glad
like,
the show's
you know,
over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta factor in all those. I could say it's hot because you're sweaty, or it's hot because hey,
No,
damn, that's
don't
hot
try to
as hell.
save it. Don't try to save it.
Yeah. See,
The fans know.
You know, you're talking to the guy with the endless vocabulary over here. I've got it all.
I ordered the short hauls. I'm there. I love it. Wait, Fan, did you already order from Foco? You're supposed to wait. These guys killing me. Nobody
They
can follow
couldn't wait.
instructions. Nobody's following
They just wanted-
instructions.
Hey, they said I'll pay the extra 15%. Just give it to me.
Yeah, you hopefully use the link at least. All right, golly, we're trying to get a long-term deal with these boys and girls. All right, so give us some love. All right, guys, y'all be good. Happy Wednesday. I don't know what I'm drawing a blank here. Happy Wednesday. Y'all have a great, fantastic weekend. Be safe. Huge shout out to Florida Victorious. Huge shout out to BetUS, Foco, bringing this show to you guys today. Go give George Gumbs some love. Shout out to our man Nick Del Toro for lining this up to us all. And as always, boy, hey, Florida Victorious, again, use the code HIGHTOP to get 20% off when you first sign up as well. Don't forget about that as well. So y'all be good, be safe. Love the one that's next to you. Give him a hug. Smash the like button, subscribe. It's free, as the boys say in the chat. And till next time, boy, y'all be good. Peace and love, baby.
Be good. Check out my TikTok.